An organic protest movement erupted in India for over a month. It feels surreal having witnessed it. We know that an exam through which medical college seats were to be distributed among the students, the exam paper got leaked, right? And as soon as the authorities found out, they cancelled that exam, which the students had already given in an unfair manner, uh, and declared that they will arrange for another exam to happen, right? But it is a very frustrating task to give the exams and again, to revise the entire syllabus, to practice, to be in the exam mode. It is like appearing for a war again and again, right? So the students were frustrated. Nearly 21 students committed suicide out of the sheer anxiety, frustration, and they could not go on, right? In a way, we can say that they were killed by the system. We all felt wronged, cheated, but we just went on with it. We have become so numb to government mismanagement that we thought that this is another thing, another blunder that we have to live with and sort of bear and tolerate about this government. So the spark came when the Chief Justice of India, Surya Kant, in one of his sittings called the youth of this country, or seemingly called the youth of this country as cockroaches, that one person pursuing public relations degree at Boston University felt offended by it. He was a public-minded individual and he tweeted about it. He also launched a movement calling Cockroach Janta Party and asked all the people who feel dissatisfied and who are sort of the young unemployed Indians to join. And you won't believe, nearly 20 million people subscribed and joined to the Cockroach Janta Party. 20 million people. They surpassed established parties following on Twitter and Instagram and places like that. So definitely the entrenched parties, the traditional parties, BJP and Congress, they took note. But the government went on with the offensive. They declared that person, Abhijit Deepke, as an anti-national. He was sitting in America pursuing a degree and he would not take the bullshit of this government anymore, saying that, hey, you are just messing up again and again, and you had the audacity to call the youth of this country as cockroaches. So see, this is our party, this is Cockroach Janta Party, right? But the government was just sort of stunned by the sheer number and the traction that it got online, and they went on with the offensive. They called Abhijit Deepke an anti-national. Now this sort of instigated him to come back and to sort of see through what he started. So his coming to India was much publicized. He came in this quintessential student attire, wearing a hoodie, a t-shirt and a jeans, right? That is something that all the students identify with. And he came to the airport, Indian airport, holding the Constitution of India, believing in the fundamental rights and the guarantees that the Constitution has given to Indians. So and then the movement started. Sonam Wangchuk, he sat on an indefinite hunger strike at Jantar Mantar, and many days passed. A lot of sort of celebrities and important persons from the world, they sort of commented, saying that government should initiate a dialogue with the protesters, but the government kept on ignoring. And then the High Court of India said that it is the responsibility of the government to ensure that life goes on. They said something about right to life and things like that, and the government took it as sort of a direction and sort of picked up Sonam Wangchuk in a very sort of sneaky manner and sort of detained him at the Safdarjung hospital, right? And everyone was just so shocked at what happened. Like, you know, white sheets came out of nowhere and he was just picked up and detained at the Safdarjung hospital. His wife was also making statements saying that she is not being allowed to meet him with a camera and things like that. So definitely the most important figure, the face of this campaign was sort of taken away, but the movement grew stronger by that. Thousands of students poured in when a march was called for 20th July. So they were supposed to, the monsoon session of the parliament was supposed to be on, and all these protesters and students thought that let us take accountability, let us take this government into accountability and ask it some hard questions that, hey, what is your education minister doing? Why does not he resign? Because the papers are getting leaked again and again, and children are just killing themselves because of the injustice that they have got by the system. That march was brutally put down by the government. The government responded with its brute force, ugly, naked power. It lathi charge on protesters. Among the protesters, there were some goons who pretended to be either protesters or policemen. They were just agents of chaos. They were creating chaos, and then that led to sort of action by the government, another forceful action by the government in which they lathi charged on students, kids, and that just enraged everybody, because every parent would be like, hey, my child is also a victim of this system, if not today then tomorrow, and this is what this government is doing to the kids, to the students, to the future of this nation. So definitely the government really messed up. 20th July is going to be a big blot on the face of Indian police and the Indian executive as such. But the students there will continue. They continued with their protest. We saw many flavors of protest, right? There were memes, there were slogans, there were passionate speeches, there were people crying, frustrated because a government job, a seat in a good college is a ticket to their future, and they see that their future is being taken away from them because of corruption. And these ministers, their kids are not studying in India, they're studying abroad, but the Indian students, their hard work, their seats are being bought by whoever is willing to pay whatever amount, right? This is corruption. This is ugly, disgusting corruption. And India is a country which is having the largest young population, right? We are celebrated for our human capital. The youth just showcased their creative spirit in this protest. They were angry, but they were funny, witty, creative at the same time, right? After 2 days after the protest, we hear of the resignation, and before the resignation, the Prime Minister put out some sort of videos on Instagram trying to connect with the youth, connect with the young people that it so is missing. And definitely we feel that there is a disconnect. The government acted out in its ego. The government acted like a dictator. This generation has only read about the British rule, but with what happened on 20th July, peaceful protesters lathi charged upon, young Indian citizens lathi charged upon, beaten, women beaten, abused, their clothes torn off, their just no modesty shown to even women protesters. So that just brought back memories of the British Raj in India. And maybe this government, having served at the pleasure of the people for so long, has sort of forgotten that they are not dictators, they are not a colonial power. They serve because people of India voted for them, and they will be booted out if they sort of try to take away the rights of the people or try to subjugate the people, right? Naturally, the government was criticized by everybody. The opposition united, through it. SP, Congress, the MNS, lot of parties spoke against it. We saw violent protests in Maharashtra. We saw protests in Bihar. The energy was something that the country had never felt before. The country did feel united for this one particular cause organically. The government exposed its ugly side, the one that is not afraid to use police power to put down any challenge to its authority. Like at the final years of the British Raj, we saw that there was a mutiny in the military and the police forces refused to cooperate with the British Raj. Similarly, we saw that there were police personnel expressing that they do not want to serve a government which is beating their kids. So news of resignation of the minister came about, and we saw an unusual unity in our country. Like a true Gandhian movement, people struggled together, celebrated together, and prayed together. And together, we wait for our next struggle. The youth proved that they would not let anyone fumble their future. People who use public offices for private gains and orchestrate corruption and violence and divisive politics should be put in jail and not given ministerial positions. That is it. Thank you for joining. I'll see you in my next one.